Hello. My name is Samantha Francis, a FemmePOWER educator and your favorite no-nonsense mentor, keeping it real again today. So today we're going to talk about something I have heard for so many years, and I'm sure you have as well, which is trust yourself. I'm going to say something today that I think everybody thinks about at some point or another, which is, how do you trust yourself? How do you actually trust? And I've got to be honest, it can feel like a very difficult question to answer, because for many of us, we've never been able to trust. That's never been something that was developed in us from childhood. I mean, if we even bring it down to the basics, right? We think about when we were back in primary school and you felt like in your body you needed to use the toilet, and you put your hand up like, "Miss, I need to use the toilet." And they're like, "No, put your hand down, you're fine, you don't need to." Something as simple as that disconnects you from your body and your innate trust in yourself. So for so many people, they've grown up not trusting themselves. Another example, again from childhood, because this is where it all starts for the majority of people. You sense something is wrong. You sense mom and dad are fighting, or they're just not getting on, and you're like, you might go to your mom, go, "Is everything okay? You and dad fighting, and you was like, no, everything's fine. You're like, okay, but your intuition is telling you, and you're sensing, you're feeling something is wrong. But this person, your caregiver, this person that knows it all, is saying, actually, no, everything's fine, you're wrong. You disconnect from your trust again and your ability to feel into things. So what happens then is you go through life second guessing yourself all the time. And this is where, we all have intuition, we all have an internal navigation system. Some people are more in tune with their intuition than others because of certain things or beliefs or whatever. But it's part of every single one of us. But for many, they go through life not tuning into their intuition, and intuition is connected with your trust and your ability to trust. So then what happens is you end up in situations that actually prove detrimental, prove painful, prove unhealthy, and it creates more pain. And it actually lowers your self-confidence, lowers your self-worth, and actually lowers your self-trust again in yourself. It's like, oh my God, I put myself in this. I chose to do this. I put myself in this situation again. I can't trust myself. I clearly can't trust myself because this is what I've done. So when we hear people saying trust yourself, it's like, how long's a piece of string? Like, how do you trust yourself? So I've actually pondered on this for many years, because I only started to actually feel a sense of trust in my 30s, right? And over the years it's become more and more and more. And many times I've been tested with my level of trust and patience as well. But the best way that I can actually describe what trust feels like, and again, this may prove difficult as well for some, but it's a feeling of inner knowing and safety. So it feels safe. And for many people, even that concept of feeling safe will be like I'm speaking a foreign language, because when do you learn to feel safe if most of your life you've never felt safe? You didn't feel safe with your parents, you weren't protected for whatever reason, you didn't feel safe in your relationships, in your friendships, like you don't feel safe with money. Like, how do you start to feel safe? And safety and trusting yourself works hand in hand, but so does your intuition. It all works together, they're all connected. So the best way that I would advise any person to learn to trust is by learning to connect with their intuition, by learning to listen in. Because actually, Your intuition will never guide you wrong. Our fears might. And remember, our brains are they're designed to keep us safe, to protect us from danger, not help us to expand. So even if you're starting something new or doing something new, your brain might go, boom, 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 nope, danger, danger, don't do it, don't do it. And all sorts of resistance and everything will come up. But if you learn to actually tune into your intuition, and intuition lies within the body, then you will take action from an intuitive place. That action will prove positive. As far as I'm aware, and in my experience, these are the things that I've done. And then your brain will gather evidence that actually you do make aligned decisions for yourself, or actually the decisions you make do end up right or in a good place. You end up in a good place from it. It doesn't have to be a traumatic, horrific, painful space that you end up in, that actually you can make decisions for your highest good. But that takes practice. Takes practice. And if you do want help in terms of tuning into your intuition and feeling what intuition feels like in your body, I actually have a masterclass on this, because it's so important to understand that your body collects everything. So trauma is not in the head, it's in the body. You know, intuition is in the body. Your body is amazing on such a deep level. Like, you have no understanding, like none of us really have any understanding of how much our body can really do. So where I may feel intuition in my body, somebody else may feel it in a particular part of my body, somebody else may feel it in a different area of their body. It's bespoke. It's bespoke. So I know when I feel like a massive intuitive nudge, or like just my intuition going, hello, hello, we're here. I'll feel it in my stomach or my chest. It'll be in between my chest and my stomach area. Other people feel it in their back. Other people feel it in their neck. It could be, it's really bespoke. It's really bespoke. So if you ever want to learn how to do that, then just get in touch. And I have a masterclass on that specifically. And then we go off on a tangent as well, talking about all sorts of other things to do with energy and money and things like that. It's all fun. But yeah, that's where I started. I started really fine-tuning my body into a feeling of safety. Because when you trust, you feel safe. And when you feel safe, you trust. I made some really big, bold decisions last year that shocked a lot of people. And those decisions came from a space of trust and knowing that it was the right thing to do. Despite my intuition giving me little niggles along the way, I mean, maybe not paying as much attention as I should have done, or could have done, I did in the end. And I've never, I don't regret it. I just don't. I know in my heart that they were big moves, they were painful moves. It was shocking to a lot of people. But yet, it was still the right moves to make, because where I am right now, if I had stayed in those situations doing those things, I wouldn't be here right now in the energy that I'm in right now, speaking to you right now. I wouldn't be the woman that I am today. Making those big moves, those big scary moves that yet still felt right, has allowed me to feel safer in my body and trust myself even more so. So now even when I get one of those tiny little intuitive nudges or niggles, I'm like, boom, yes, I trust this. I don't even need the sensation in my body to get any bigger. I trust it. I'm going to make a move on that. Or I'm going to allow this to cultivate a little bit more, and then I will birth it out. You know, I know how to tune into my intuition now. And because I've done things that have gathered that positive energy and positive evidence for my brain, it all feels in alignment now. So I can absolutely hand on heart say that I trust myself. Even if in my external reality, things don't look very stable or they don't look great, I can still get an inner knowing as to whether to stay still in this moment or make a move, and I will follow whatever feels right. But 10, 15 years ago, I'd have buckled under the pressure. I'd have come from a space of lack. I'd have come from a space of not really trusting or knowing, you know, what to do with things, and I'd have made some bad moves coming from a space of fear. Now, would I have been able to correct those moves? Absolutely. Absolutely, I'd correct those moves. But I always say to clients, like, why do we have to go through struggle and pain and heartache all the time? Like, we don't have to go through such dramatic situations to get to a space of like, oh, okay, I trust myself now. No, we can actually just listen in, understand our bodies a bit more, and take the aligned action, the right action, and keep it simple and make life so much more beautiful and harmonious and healthy, you know? So when somebody says to you, trust yourself, I'm with you when you're like, yeah, but how? I am. But I would definitely recommend learning about how to tune into your intuition, feeling into the body, creating safety into the body, even journaling on things where you have made some moves that actually have been pretty good for you. Again, gathering evidence all the time. Your brain needs as much evidence as you can give it to prove that it is safety and that you are not going to die. And yeah, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it, making it like a daily thing for you. My clients that work with me around their psychic, spiritual, and intuitive development know that these are things that I do on a daily basis, that I tell you to do on a daily basis because it works for me. And I know it works for me because trust and believe, if the person I was 10, 15 years ago was here right now, it would just, I'd be a mess. I'd be a mess, and I wouldn't have any direction or know where to go, what to do. You know, I'd be coming from fear all the time and life would be somewhat of a hell. So I don't want the same for you. I want you to live a life that feels prosperous, that feels joyful, that feels harmonious and just peaceful. You see, that's another feeling you feel when you trust. You feel safety, you feel peace, you feel full. That's the best way I can describe it based on how I receive it and how I feel it. Could be different for you as well. But I don't know anyone that doesn't want those feelings. So if you struggled with learning and understanding what trust is, then give these tips a go. Again, if you want any support or have any questions, or you'd like to get hold of my intuitive masterclass, it's a good one, I have to say. It's a pre-recorded masterclass as well. And we go into all sorts there, and there's different activities we do in the masterclass that support you with understanding actually not even just where your body shows you intuition, but where certain emotions show up within your body as well. That's really, really interesting to do. But again, I hope this video has served you well, and I hope it's given you a bit of relief if you've been there the whole time thinking, am I the only one that does not understand what trust yourself means? No, you are not alone, and I completely empathize and understand how it can feel like, you know, like the unknown when you have never really understood what it feels like to feel safe. But I'm with you. And again, if you have any questions, just give me a shout and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.